Someone once asked me how I can live the life I want. The answer I find the best is just being a person who knows how to ask for yourself if one person can't. If we can endure the suffering that comes from self-discipline, we will still have to endure the suffering that comes from failure and deprivation, both materially and spiritually. Each of us's future is hidden in our ways. How to spend the morning a great day will not wait for someone who stays up late, for those who persevere in waking up early. I agree with the saying, live doesn't just exist. Some people stay up late to watch soap operas, episode after episode, and don't want to sleep. They whisper the rest of the paragraphs in their heads. This and the rest of this paragraph, but soon it was 2 or 3 a.m. Some people wake up early with a healthy morning, an exercise, a book, and a good night's sleep, giving them the right to have that child one day. Early mornings are exciting and full of energy. I once coincidentally met an old teacher when her hair was almost gone, but her skin was still rosy. She still looked clear and youthful in her lover's life. Unlike 3 people of the same age who have to take care of their grandchildren and watch movies around the house or grow old over the years, her thoughts are always fresh, somewhat profound, and extremely reassuring. She writes books every year at a young age. Although she's tall, she also learned a few new languages. I asked her what her secret was to be so good. She said that even though she was old, her habit of waking up at 6 a.m. every day had never changed. After breakfast, she took out a book to read and sat on a chair on the balcony, breathing in the fresh air from the city breeze that still hinted at Duong. At that time, there was no noise, only the sounds of birds and insects. Her heart suddenly calmed down, and her thinking became unusually clear, and soon she read most of the book. Just like that, her family was completely and meaningfully completed according to her own wishes. Staying up late only reduces the quality of life, but waking up early can make a person's soul of a higher stature. Then morning is the best time for us to test a person's life with a purpose to pursue 20 same days. But if you wake up an hour earlier than others, it means is that you have more than 30 hours in a month. But if you persevere for a whole year, you will have 360 hours more than others, while others are sleeping. Not only can you read your favorite book, but you can also clean the house and experience a wonderful morning when people are chased by time. You can also orient time and live at your own pace. No one can indeed resist aging, but those who keep, if you are disciplined to wake up early, you can gradually become better over the years. Those who stay up late will never smell the scent of wisdom from early morning, and those who wake up early will always have their souls mixed with the scent in their hearts. The cheer of the early morning, I admire the type of person who, when they encounter any difficulty, can do one thing. It's time to sleep, it's time to sleep, it's time to teach. It's stupid without having to hesitate or get stuck. Being busy is like a saying that staying up late is because you don't dare to end the day and year. Staying in bed and every morning is because you don't have the passion to start a new day for yourself. Once upon a time, on a business trip with a brother in the industry, it happened that the other company was not satisfied with the plan we proposed, so the meeting ended in an unhappy atmosphere all night. Then I sank deep into self-blame, thinking about being rejected and not having the mood to sleep. Soon it was morning, so I reluctantly got out of bed and didn't know how to face those things. What happened yesterday, a while later, my colleague called me and invited me to have breakfast. While I was eating, I realized I wasn't in a good mood. He said something to me that made me deeply understand. Only after conquering his life first thing in the morning did I find out that while I was still in bed, he ran 2 laps in the morning and thought of a better solution while jogging. In the end, the other company not only agreed to apply the solution he proposed, but also expressed their willingness to cooperate long-term with us. After the business trip, he also encouraged me that the evening was in the past. Don't think twice. Think too much when the morning comes. Quickly wake up, because the turning point of life is starting from this moment, because life is inherently arduous. If just a little troublesome thing causes trouble, how can we achieve great things? Sleeping early and waking up early can help you fully recharge your energy. But if you let the worries and pressures make it impossible for you, there's no loss. Then this will only wipe out the passion in your life. People with extraordinary willpower always have long-term goals in mind. They know that thinking about the past cannot solve anything, only seconds. The present moment after opening your eyes is the future worth looking forward to. The sweetness of life will always belong to those who are going through hardships, but still know how to be self-aware and self-disciplined. Some wake up early in life. There are always extraordinary things about them because life is rushed. Some people waste time in misery, and some people always live happily. Every time I see my neighbor, Mr. Dong, I feel surprised by the strength that comes from the early morning. Mr. Dong previously had a very bad time in life. He had an accident and broke his upper left side while driving a taxi. His wife of 20 years with him has now filed for divorce, and he didn't even have the right to raise his 2-year-old son anymore. That big shock made him live in isolation for a long time. One day, early in the morning, he decided to find a place without people to end his life. The rest of his life, but when he was bored walking on the street, he suddenly met an old man who was doing morning exercise. He didn't know him, but looked at him with a smile and said hello. He continued to walk forward and walked away. Passing by a dumpling cart selling vegetables, the seller from afar warmly greeted his senior as soon as he opened the steam of the bun, and Huang Yi poured in. Over the years, the loss has engulfed him in darkness. So now, these simple moments and early mornings have become strangely magical. He quickly realized that the tastelessness of life was exactly this. He suddenly craved to truly live and start from scratch with a cake. Hot bao, adding a cup of soy milk and receiving smiles from strangers in the early morning made me suddenly see that this world is worthwhile and that there are no obstacles that cannot be overcome. I want to live a life that lives well and enjoys every morning. Every time I meet Mr. Dong, I'm immediately overwhelmed by his optimism. It's truly magical, isn't it? Early morning is the time to regenerate vitality. Early mornings always have the scent. The miracle that makes us see and be able to wake up to step out of the dark moments in life. Sometimes work is not as we want, and relationships are not working. Sharing the little things can make us feel depressed, but life is always like that, always impermanent and depressed. What can we change? We don't have to live for anyone else, but can only live to make our souls feel peaceful and joyful. Early morning is always here to greet you. Realize this. Don't waste any more wonderful mornings in your life. The boundless beauty of life is hidden in a slice of bread, fried eggs, and a cup of warm milk in the morning. Brighten up the confidence and will that has been buried inside of you for a long time. Now you only need to wake up when you get out of bed and smile. People who wake up early always have a life full of joy and optimism. We still say that time is gold, but perhaps morning time is more precious than gold in today's society, where we are under pressure from work or temptations from electronic devices that keep many people awake. Staying late and losing your precious early morning, but successful people always know that to do something real, you need to prepare early, and waking up early is one of the indispensable habits for achieving success. A step toward success, early risers always find joy in life. Enjoy every day to the fullest and always encounter a better version of themselves. What about you? Get up early tomorrow. Let the morning light your soul. You are filled with fragrance. Thank you for listening. This is PR Shinshin's special contemplation column, and see you again in the next content.